Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna start with part 1 of our weekly tree farm series. Looked at the comments and it seemed like a narrow majority was in favor of showing it from simplest to most complicated. So we're gonna start with this tree farm first, then the next one they can farm everything except acacia, then the one that is rather quickly, but can't farm jungle trees, and then last the universal tree farm. And then after that I also plan to do a dark oak tree farm. Alright. So this is the simplest tree farm I got to offer. Of course, you could make it even simpler. I mean, where you don't break the logs, so you just stand in front of the tree and punch out the logs while you're AFK. That's all a possibility. But here you just need to place saplings, and that's it. So this farm works with birch and oak, kind of also with jungle, but you wouldn't get enough saplings back unless you put in some extra effort to make sure you do so. Right, let's show it. You can turn it on here. This would be your AFK spot. Understand, a bit back here so you don't get any damage from the explosion. And then you want to aim at this small slice of dirt and place the sapling. Then as soon as the tree has grown, TNT dupe at the top would activate. Technically you could also use a TNT dispenser. Drops the TNT here into this waterlogged trapdoor. Opens it just in the right moment. And this is a new circuit I added in order to also make it work with oak trees. The problem with oak trees is that they don't reliably generate 5 high like the birch trees. And that's why it could happen that we don't have leaf generation at this height. So if I wouldn't time this perfectly, then the TNT could land too low and also damage, for example, the piston that pushes up the dirt and so on. So that's why we have to time this, and the TNT drops down just a little bit and explodes above the leaves. Okay, see, maybe we can get an oak tree that... Yeah, that's the problem, since the oak trees can generate lower. But we still can make it work. It's also a problem, since the leaves also generate lower of the oak trees, that they also don't get taken out by explosion. But overall, this would work. In terms of rates or logs per hour, you would get about 2000 to 2500 birch logs per hour and just about 1000 oak logs per hour. The reason why with this design you would only get about 1000 logs, oak logs per hour is that a lot of the items would land on the leaves and would be blown up later. You could also, of course, put some effort into making this farm a bit better in terms of getting oak logs as well, so you would need to adjust the height at which oak logs generate, but I don't really think it's worth it. If you make this farm a lot more complicated, you could just build a proper tree farm at some point. So the next model I'm going to show next week is not much more effort, and instead of just complicating this one here to be a bit more efficient, I would just recommend to build the next one. So this is meant really as a complete starter farm, something you could build up after a couple hours of playing in order to get started, and then should definitely upgrade to the next better farm. But this farm works perfectly fine with birch logs, so you just want to get started, need some planks, maybe to craft some chests or whatever, then you can definitely use it. It has the functionality to be run with oak, but yeah, it has those little downsides. But the farm wouldn't break if you run it with oak, it's just not that great. Alright, so in case you want to build it, you can see the full material list. Maybe a couple notes. If you don't have glazed terracotta, you can just use 2 obsidian blocks more. The type of dead coral fan doesn't matter. And additionally, you will also need 2 hopper minecarts and a normal minecart. So let's start with the block by block tutorial. We're gonna need a dropper that's upwards facing and place 2 more on top. And then a dispenser facing to the side here. Next we need sticky piston, slime block on top, and then a dirt block. You can also add a hopper here, place a double chest on top, and this is your bone meal supply. You can fill this up completely with bone meal. This fills up the dispenser at the top. Alright, then we need 3 scaffolding blocks. I'm just gonna place them real quick like that, and place a dropper here. This dropper will supply you with saplings. Then we run a line of hoppers into that dropper and fill up the 5x5 area around the dirt with hoppers as well. So we're gonna connect all the hoppers to this one here. Okay, So here it really doesn't matter which hopper points into which hopper, it doesn't matter. Just need to completely fill up the 5x5 area. Okay, that does the job. Then next we can also add 2 blocks here and put repeaters on 2 ticks. And now we can also add an item filter, so you would sort out the logs. So just gonna add 2 hoppers pointing into blocks they can remove later. Then here we're gonna build the item filter. Need a redstone torch for that. Repeater here. Then a piece of dust and a comparator at top. And then you want to fill it for dummy items and the log type you want to sort out. So in this case, Birch. It's okay if you only put a single one in there. Alright, now I can also maybe make that hopper point into a double chest. So here you can now take out your logs. Next, you want to get an observer, place it at the back of the dropper, points into a block. Then here we got another dropper at the bottom, and another observer facing this way and points into a block. Then you also need a lever, place it on top here and activate it. This stops the clock from running. Turn it off, clock starts. Okay, then we can continue here. Place a couple blocks. Then go down and place down a repeater. And here redstone dust line also points into the dispenser here. Okay, then we can also continue. We need another comparator. That wasn't intended. Okay, just want to place down a repeater here on 4 ticks. Now we need a sticky piston. Place it here. Block above. Then 2 blocks there. And 2 repeaters on 2 ticks delay. Then here we're gonna add 3 more repeaters on full delay. And next, downwards facing sticky piston. We need another observer. Points this way. Okay, now we go down. And add 6 blocks here. Here we're gonna add another sticky piston. An observer facing into the block there. Alright, then we need to add a couple repeaters again. One of those is on 2 ticks, the other on 4 ticks of delay. Next we'll run a redstone wire up to the TNT duper. So I need to add 5 more blocks like this. Can put redstone dust on top. Next we need a glass block and 5 more blocks. And 5, and here another one. So here we're gonna place down a repeater. Put redstone dust on top of the rest. Then we can add a sticky piston there. And now we need a slime block structure. So 3 slime blocks there. Detector rail and a wall. Then we're gonna add, should we do it? Side doesn't really matter. Do it here. Add 3 more slime blocks like that. And we're gonna get the dead coral fan. Type doesn't matter. Can also place down TNT already. Under the cobble wall. And then we also need to align the TNT a bit. That's why we have fence gate here. I'm gonna open it, it's important. And we place cobble walls here on the side to align the TNT. Then you wanna grab your glazed terracotta or obsidian and place it here. You also need to put a minecart on the detector rail. Okay, now we want to grab a trapdoor, wooden or iron, it doesn't matter, and place it right here, so next to the block This one higher than a glass block. Then another block here, and we place down 2 scaffolding blocks. Then one observer detects the scaffolding, points into another block. And now we need a couple of repeaters again. And have them on full delay. It's just gonna snake around a little bit. So another repeater here, then 4 repeaters right there. Okay, we still need 3 more repeaters, but now we want to get some obsidian to place the repeaters on. So this is blast proof. Don't need to worry about it being blown up. Okay, can also continue with that. 3 more here. Then we need a sticky piston and a downwards facing observer. And we need another trapdoor, wooden or iron. Advantage of iron is that you can't accidentally click it. So, gonna place obsidian around it. Then you want to get your water bucket and waterlock the trapdoor. There's a problem that some of the logs and also saplings could land on top of this dispenser and wouldn't be collected. In order to get around this issue, you could either glitch a hopper minecart into it. Could do that with rails like that. Just need to make sure that the hopper minecart is still partially above one of the hoppers here around. If you don't want to glitch it in, you can also just drop a hopper minecart on top here at the back. And then you want to align another hopper minecart against a cobble wall and drop it down a little bit. Okay, now we also need to play as AFK spot. So place a slab here against this block. Or to prevent the saplings from flying out, you can also place a block here. And you want to stand back a little bit and aim just at that slice of dirt with your saplings. So let's try this out real quick. Can turn it on here. Place down a sapling. TNT drops. The tree is grown and explodes just in the right moment. Items are collected. Perfect. And we get our saplings. Alright. Hope this video was useful for you. In case you want to upgrade the tree farm or build a bit more sophisticated one. Next Sunday we're going to see the next tree farm. It's also a bit quicker. So while this one here was about 2,500 birch logs at most, the tree farm for next week is also, depending on the tree type, around 6,000 to 10,000 logs per hour. And it's additionally also capable of farming spruce and jungle trees while returning enough saplings. But that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching. See you either next week or also maybe one of my other videos. Thanks guys for watching. Bye bye.